for one, don't think a man should have to fight for his children. Let me just put that out there, right there, okay? But let's just be honest. A lot of these stepdaddies don't want y'all to be. So when this woman get the new man in the household, the new man in the household is like, he gotta go.
So I'm just gonna tell part of my friend's story. He's actually one of my really great friends. Part of his story. So he owned his own construction company. The house that she lives in, he built. Part of the agreement that he originally made with her so that he could see his daughter was he would let her have the house. What she asked for in child support, he would give. He just simply wanted his daughter, and that wasn't enough. He had it, if memory serves, it took about a year. He basically brought all of those receipts to court. The judge kind of attacked her a little bit, but he ended up getting split custody of his daughter. But the fact is, these women ain't playing fair. These women are like. I actually thought she was nuts, and I told him to stay away from her. But these women that they see the dollar signs, and their child becomes a dollar sign to them. And then, since you're not going to be with me, you're not going to be with anybody, and I'm not going to let you have your daughter. So now you got to fight, and that's nuts.
I mean, it is.
And a lot of people don't have the money that he had. Like some people just don't have the money to go through and have those battles.
But that's what I'm saying. If you want your child, you'll go through fire to do that. So even if you don't have the financial resources, I'm gonna do the research that I need for free. I got the internet to see what resources are available to help me fight that fight. You know what I'm saying? They have people like that do like pro bono cases. They got, father organizations that are built around supporting men to help them with those things. So it's just like doing the research to find out what can I do to try to get to the best case scenario. And it's very rare, like I said, just in my personal experience from what I've seen, that judges completely be like, no, she gets full custody. You can't see the kid. Like people that I know in the background, like I had said to somebody else, if they allow like kids that are in foster care, they have to see their parents. They grant those parents rights, and the parents be crackheads. So if they
crackhead,
yeah, right, it has to be supervised visitation, but they do get to see their kids. So I'm like, in that situation, if they feel like the best case scenario is for the kid to still have some kind of relationship with that parent, even though that parent is a drug addict or abuse them or what have you, I'm quite sure if a father who really wants to be a part of their kid's life, that they're going to give them some kind of ability to have some kind of relationship, even if it's it has to be supervised visitation. No, you don't want that. Of course you wouldn't want that, but wouldn't that be better than nothing at all?
So here's questions that the court asks. So if the mom or I'm gonna stop saying mom, I'm gonna say custodial parent. Mm-hmm. If the custodial parent is preventing the child from seeing the non-custodial parent, when they finally go to court, one of the things that most judges ask is, have you been able to build a relationship with the child? How often do you see the child? And if it's outside of like 3 months, the best you're going to get is weekends so that you can reacclimate the child. That is best case scenario starting out.
Yeah, so that's
it's like what is happening to to mostly, I will say mostly fathers, but the non-custodial parents is it becomes this long battle that it shouldn't ever be.
I agree.
Let me,
Like
let me,
we would love utopia, right? We would love it to
let you
be
go, Marcus.
the mom agrees, the dad agrees, the kid gets split time. We would all love that, but that's not what happens, and it's so unfortunate. Go ahead,
Listen,
Marcus. I'm sorry because this fires me up.
No, Mark, I understand, but guess what? When you have kids out of wedlock, you do it out of order. It may not be go the way you wanted to go.
Well, these are people that are complaining too. They've been married and divorced, and some of them are saying
But what happens with married and divorce is a part of your divorce is going to automatically put up a custody arrangement, and because it's court order, you can put her in contempt for court if she doesn't allow you. You know, the problem is when you don't go through the court system and you just fighting that battle without any legal. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with you, AP. I don't think any guy should have to go through that. But unfortunately, when you put yourself in a situation, just like women, when we put ourselves in a situation, we have kids out of wedlock, there's going to be some down, some shit we got to go through because of that. There's some stuff that men may have to go through because you chose wrong, just like she chose wrong. It sucks. It really does. That's why should always preach to do it the right way. And that's when you're married to somebody. Go ahead, Marky Mark. Let Marky Mark speak, and then you can come in, Mike. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. One, I want to say, stay with the parents. That's the ideal thing. I don't want to normalize the separating. Two, I want to say the people whose relationships that I like counsel to try to help while they was going through this. I've seen all type of things happen from her getting a new man. And if you weren't married, here go a reason to be married. If she decides to move out of state with the new man and they get married, you're going to have to go visit them in whatever state that is that they move to, because you don't have no guarantee custody rights. But I've also seen women use the kid as like real live leverage to enact emotional destruction and pain on some men based off of them still wanting him and him trying to move on. And they usually don't do it until he gets another girlfriend. As long as he's single and just they separated and co-parent, be fine. But he move on with his life and she can't. And I kind of get it, right? You are at home with a kid and you feel like this person living their best life, and you with the kid every day, and you vindictive, not in control of your emotions, and you trying to do that. But the law needs to be changed. So even if you give joint custody, I've even heard of cases where the lady will say the child is sick, so on his time she don't got to take him, or like any excuse. So when all of these things happen, you got to go back to mediation. Then when you're in mediation, they set a new set of parameters, and then she has another, because there are excuses to get you out of delivering the child to the other parent. Like that happens a whole lot. And if somebody's angry at you and trying to use that against you, it's a real chance that those things can happen. Let's normalize never keeping a child away from any parent.
I mean, it sounds good. We can normalize, that's one of those things. Like, we already know what women are in control of. We know what men are in control of. It's one of them bad things that you date the wrong chick, you marry the wrong chick, or you have sex with the wrong chick.
I mean, nobody's listening to that anymore. We're gonna have to deal with this after the problem. We're gonna have to deal with the problem at hand. Nobody's listening anymore. People, if you don't value marriage, you're gonna have a bunch of babies out of wedlock.